Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, to the European Outlook for today's second video. So as was our Thursday, we're having a look at the weather for next week, 10 days in detail across Europe, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that first, a video today on 6 AM upload, and we've got a 10 to 14 day coming for you later on today as well. So please like, share, subscribe on videos, and thank you so very much everybody for doing that. Right then, we're going to start off with the scenario across Europe today. So we've got low pressure coming in off the Atlantic into many western parts of Europe, high pressure reaching into our south and southwest. We've still got a legacy of a cold trough of low pressure sitting across northern Scandinavia. So the upper air temperatures remain cold across Scandinavia and the far northeast Europe and northwest of Russia. Otherwise, generally mild with those upper air temperatures over many other parts of Europe as we're drawing in west or southwest winds. Actually looking quite warm down across the far south of Europe. Precipitation-wise, look like this, so there will be some snow again across northern parts, but Scandinavia and Norway, a few snow flows into Finland as well through the course of today. Outbreaks of rain, sleet, snow through southern parts of Scandinavia and Norway as well. And further south of that, we're into the milder air, and so most of the precipitation event is going to be falling as rain. So showery bursts from Germany through towards the east side of Europe, and more wet weather heading in towards Ireland, UK and France. Down across southern Europe, though, lots of dry weather through there today for much of the event, and warm as well. So for Spain, for example, we could be seeing temperatures into the low to mid-20s Celsius, widening into the teens to low 20s through the central bowl of the Med. A little bit cooler over on the eastern side of the Med. And then generally quite mild breeze for most parts of most other parts of Europe. So Poland looks pretty mild. Germany, Low Countries, France, into the UK and Ireland. Temperatures pushing up into the teens Celsius, if not getting into the upper teens Celsius. Northern Europe remains cold, though. Bitterly cold air is still sitting there over Scandinavia, into the far north, east of Europe, and the west of Russia. Tomorrow, Friday, we'll have a deep area of low pressure sitting right over top of Ireland and the UK. Also, the Low Countries will be under that area of low pressure as well. France will get an influence from that low pressure with these westerly winds. Further northwards, we're going to find cold air, but to retreat back a little bit, maybe North Scandinavia, and the warmest of the weather will remain across southern parts of Europe. The upper air temperatures show that the coldest of the upper air temperatures in the far north begin to retreat away, though most parts of Scandinavia are still looking cold, as does some parts of northeast Europe as well. However, otherwise it's a mild scene across most parts of Europe, with those upper air temps looking quite mild, and they're still warm down across southern Europe as well. So lots of wet weather here across many western and also central parts of Europe. Outbreaks of rain or showers through Ireland and the UK, through France, through the Low Countries, into Germany and Poland as well. Further northwards, we'll have rain, sleet and snow around those Baltic Sea states of Latvia, Estonia and Lithuania. Largely dry through the Scandinavian peninsula, although there could be some snow flurries still around in some places. And then many parts of southern Europe looking mainly dry once again. Warmest temperature will be in the south of Europe, coldest up in the north, though probably not quite as cold as it is today. And then many other areas are either going to be mild or very mild generally. A little bit cooler, though, actually, for the UK and for Ireland. Well, we go on into Saturday, and that area of low pressure runs through Germany and into Poland. High pressure building out to the north and northwest, pulling in this cooler or colder east to northeast wind across northern and western parts of Europe. The low pressure begins to appear down across the Mediterranean as well, maybe by Saturday. Upper air temperatures still look cold through Scandinavia, cooler through Ireland and through the UK, but still generally mild for most parts of Europe, and remain warm down across the south. And precipitation-wise, we'll start to see some of those heavy showers and thunderstorms beginning to affect parts of Italy, and possibly over the Adriatic in towards the Balkans as well, as the air masses with colder air to the northeast and the warmer air to the south, as those air masses begin to clash with one another. Out west, there'll be lots of heavy showers, long spells of rain, thunderstorms through France into the Low Countries as well. I think going a little bit drier both for Ireland and the UK, actually, by the start of the weekend. Scandinavia looking mostly dry, and then the central bowl of the Med into Spain, Portugal, mostly dry through there. excuse me, through there. So temperature-wise on Saturday, it's another cold day for Northern Europe and generally a little bit cooler, I think, across most parts of Europe. But we see a drop in temperature through Poland, through Germany, through the Low Countries, back into the UK and Ireland. As that east-north-east wind picks up, I think temperatures do lower. Mind you, southern Europe still looking very warm, despite those showers beginning to break out through Italy, for example. Temperatures still doing okay there. And southern parts of Spain and Portugal will be quite hot. Sunday will find high pressure beginning to start ridging through northern and western parts of Europe. On the eastern side of that high pressure will draw in cooler or colder air from the north and from the northeast. Upper temps actually become colder again across Scandinavia and the northeastern part of Europe. Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania sees quite a plunge in the temperature through the weekend. But milder upper temperature beginning to get squeezed to more southern, southeastern parts of Europe as these colder winds begin to push southwards through Germany and particularly through Poland, for example. Relatively mild across Western Europe. The warmest upper temperatures will be reserved for Spain and Portugal, though. Precipitation-wise, generally very heavy showers and thunderstorms transferring further eastwards into those eastern, southeastern parts of Europe. So some big downpours in places. As some cold air digs in, because by some of that turned to snow, particularly through Poland, possibly into western parts of Ukraine. Further north and west of that, going to be a lot of dry weather, I think, of course. But Sunday, as that area of high pressure gets going, although some wet weather beginning to come back in towards Ireland. And temperatures looking quite cold again across northern Europe, and most cold temperature begins to extend a little bit further southwards and eastwards as well. Meanwhile, for the western side of Europe, though, the temperatures, surface temperatures and uppers probably starting to lift up a little bit. Again, you'll notice the hottest weather is going to be for southern parts of Spain and Portugal. On into next week, so we've got a three-way split, some cold north-northeast winds for the eastern side of Europe, a region of high pressure, bringing a lot of dry weather to the northwest Europe, and then milder winds coming into the UK and Ireland from off the Atlantic Ocean. Upper temperatures look coldest in the north and in the northeast, especially in the northeastern corner, so like Finland, down to Baltic Sea states, looking very cold through there. Still quite cold for Scandinavia, but we do find it gets a little bit milder for the UK, for Ireland and for France, as most colder upper air temperatures are being pushed further east. There's lots of dry weather under that area of high pressure on Monday, but there will be heavy showers, thunderstorms, and maybe even longer spells of rain through Greece and Turkey, and also into southern parts of Italy. Corsica, Sardinia as well could have some heavy showers. Further west of that, though, through Med, dry, and then those dry conditions extend further north as well until we run into some wet weather coming back in towards the UK and Ireland. Very cold across northern and northeastern parts of Europe, milder further west and southwest. And then on into Tuesday, where we've got low pressure across the coming into the northern part of Europe, high pressure reaching in from the Azores into West Europe, and still that cold there with a trough of low left in the east. Coldest upper air temperatures are around the Baltic Sea and into west of Russia. But looks generally quite cold actually through much of Eastern Europe, milder out across western parts of Europe. Precipitation wise, we look like that. Lots of heavy showers and thunderstorms, and also longer spells of rain in the southeast corner again, particularly through Greece and Turkey towards the Black Sea. More wet weather coming through the UK and Ireland into France, the Low Countries, Denmark, and some parts of Norway. And then to the northeast, this precipitation here is likely to be snow across northwestern Russia and possibly affecting parts of Finland and the Baltic Sea states. A swathe of dry weather then from Poland going all the way down towards Spain and Portugal. And temperature-wise, again, cold in the north and the east, mildest in the west, and also warmest in the southwestern southern part of the Med. Wednesday, we'll see high pressure ridging in from the Azores into west parts of Europe. Low pressure is across northern Europe. Upper air temperatures show that the cold of the air beginning to retreat away to all areas, seeing those upper air temperatures looking up, but looking particularly warm in western parts of Europe and hot by now, with the upper air temperature down across Spain and Portugal. There's going to be further showers or longer spells of rain across central, northern and west Europe. The driest weather will be in the southwestern corner of Europe on Wednesday, and it will remain cold across Scandinavia, but otherwise most other places are turning milder and looking quite hot through Spain and Portugal, where I think the temperature could be approaching about around 30 degrees there by Wednesday. High pressure beginning to build across Western Europe on Thursday as a low pressure, trough of low pressure sits in the north and the northeast of Europe. Precipitation-wise, getting coolest in the north of Europe, warmest in the southern part of Europe, and especially around Spain and Portugal, where it looks hot. And precipitation-wise, there will be further showers, longer spells of rain through those central and eastern parts of Europe, driest in the west and in the southwest as well. And temperature-wise, coldest in the north, warmest in the south and the southwest. I'll just run you on to day 10, so we'll go through the Easter weekend. That's Friday, Good Friday. We'll see low pressure across the northern and eastern parts of Europe, high pressure across West Europe, and then into the weekend of Saturday the 8th and Sunday the 9th of April, Easter Sunday, we find high pressure dominating across western parts of Europe, and on the eastern side of that high pressure, colder air looks like going to start pushing southwards again across the northern and northeastern parts of Europe. We have to watch how far west that cold air gets, of course, as we go into the Easter weekend. Right, so in summary, we're looking at an unsettled and mixed week, seeing coldest in the north, warmest in the south, going to be turning hot by the middle of next week through much of Spain and Portugal. Signs of summer there. We're going to be back later on with your 10 to 14 day. That will include all our operator features. Come back for that then for this week's detailed European outlook. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.